Okay, I'm back again doing this rhinestone tumbler. The first time I've recorded this entire video, the sound was not on, so you were not able to hear anything I was saying. I will upload that video and you guys can check it out. I'll speed it up because it will be super boring with no words, and yeah, you can have fun watching that. I decided to come back and do a voiceover for this section because I wanted to make sure that you all understood what was going on and didn't miss any key steps. The most important part of your tumbler design, working no matter what it is that you're creating, is prep. You always want to wash and wipe down your tumbler and sand the surface. This gives the whatever you're attaching to it a mechanical bond to the surface and ensures you have a lasting product. With rhinestones, I would say sand with a metal filer because it gives you much deeper grooves and you want that glue to really stick. No matter what adhesive you're using, you want to make sure it has a really perfect bond with the stainless steel on one end and the rhinestone on the other. With the rhinestone chain, it's very easy. You can actually you can drag the chain across a piece of sandpaper and this will roughen up the back, which will help with the bond. Right here you'll notice the paper towel. This has alcohol on it. I'm just wiping down the chain of the rhinestones. Um, Same with the stainless steel. You want to make sure your surface is clean and completely free of any oils and impurities. I experimented in a few different ways of applying the E6000. The first way is using a brush. This worked pretty well for me. I do like the precision that I got with it. Um, However, it takes a little longer in the process, and my objective here with using the rhinestone ribbon is to get a quality result in a much better amount of time than with using individual rhinestones. So throughout this video, you'll see me using a brush, two different types of syringes, my finger, and this kitchen tool that's for cleaning around tight spaces. It has a silicone tip on one end and a tough brush on the other. I know a lot of people top load their E6000 in a syringe. I find that a little messy for me because this is the larger bottle of E6000 and it's just too much to fit into the top without making a huge mess. So I am doing it the hard way and extracting it directly from the bottle using the syringe. This did create a lot of bubbles, so I'm not sure if this is the most effective method, but once you squeeze it out, they kind of dissipate a little, but it's a little bubbly, so I wouldn't suggest doing it this particular way unless you're really careful about how you pull up the E6000 and make sure the tip or the nozzle of the syringe is completely embedded into the bottle so that you don't allow air in there. This stuff is super thick and it was not easy to get out of the syringe. I eventually got tired of doing this and went to a larger nozzled syringe. Another important step here, you'll see me moving the strands around after I apply them. I'm pushing them downward right here. I'm pushing them downward to make sure there are no gaps in between the strands. I like to do this because it will move the glue in between each strand, so it's gluing the strands to each other, and it's keeping them on the cups. Right here, I'm just taking a paper towel with alcohol on it and rubbing it across the stones to remove any glue that may have squished out through the top and has covered the stones. And that brings us to the completion of this roll. Stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to go with the method that I left off in with the last video, using these rhinestones and this E6000 on my tumbler, and I'm going to be wiping it out with my finger. I just want to show you guys how fast this is with rhinestones. I'm using a 3mm rhinestone beaded ribbon. This is a close chain or a close chain, so the links in between each of the rhinestones are not as visible as with the open chain, which is much longer. I've sanded and prepped my tumbler in entirety. I have gone and unraveled this entire spool, wiped it down with alcohol because you never know what kind of crap is on the back of your rhinestones. You definitely, when you're using this, you want to have some kind of ventilation. I have an exhaust fan in front of me, and you should always wear a respiratory mask. Not just anyone, not for dust, but one that will filter all these crappy fumes. So I'm going to stop talking and start working. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully this video helps someone. If you have not subscribed, you can do so now, as well as like this video and hit your notification bell to make sure that you get alerts anytime I have a new upload. tool that I'm using is a cleaning brush from OXO on Amazon. I'll have the link, as always, in the description below.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click the bell button and subscribe.